and welcome to the lap guide here for week number 10 for the Sim Lab Production Car Challenge in the Toyota GR86. You are watching Coach Dave Academy, and my name is William Chadwick. I'm going to be taking you through a lap here today on this beautiful track, oval, and we'll be going through what tips and tricks help you to go faster here this week in official races.
That was your fastest lap of the session. You have about 5 laps of fuel left.
Hello and welcome to the lap guide. Now we are going to be looking through the lap. You've just seen the hot lap. Actually better than what I was able to do in my data pack for the week, which is I'm pretty happy with actually, especially the first half of the lap was really good. So we'll take you through it. It's always kind of referred to this track as a bit of an oval because it kind of is, kind of isn't. You do have some technicalities, but especially in this car, there's some areas where you can really gain time, and we'll kind of go over those and talk about how to achieve that. So coming to the start line, generally picking out 200 board as kind of my braking reference. Just as you go past it, like in the car, you won't see that. You'll see you cross it and start processing the fact you need to start braking in your brain. Kind of that's how I see it, at least. It's very, very easy to go too fast into this corner. You can think, yeah, let's brake later, let's go really, really fast in and just get loads of speed, get a gain. But because the straight's so long, because this car's so underpowered, you actually almost, I think, 9 times out of 10, you benefit from going too slowly into the corner and making sure that you get the exit. So this was a kind of a mixture of both. I'd always recommend to use this little inside bit, but not really this higher raised curve. If you use it, it's not the end of the world. However, what I will say is I don't think it gives you any benefit, certainly. But as you can see, I'm on full throttle right at the apex, which is what this car benefits from a lot. A lot of these slower cars, especially before longer straights, benefit from an early throttle. And even though we probably lose a bit from our maximum latest braking point on our maximum minimum speed carried through the corner, the exit that we're able to get really benefits us. In terms of a track limit here, it's keeping 2 wheels on this curb, basically. That's as far as it goes. Pretty lenient, but it is easy to overstep it at some times. And then up the S's, they're not really a corner, but what I try to do the most is minimise my steering to minimise the amount of scrubbing that the front tyres are doing in terms of losing us pace. And I also jump on the curbs to just shorten the distance. I'm not massively sure if this helps, but it doesn't feel like it doesn't help. And when I do it the other way, it now feels like it loses me time. So maybe that bump isn't the best, actually. But I've not decided. Anyway, I was just shortening the distance as much as possible, which is always a good thing to make an effort for. The hardest corner on the track by far is the bus stop, because you've got to absolutely send it in, and it's very easy to either get on the power too early and push out wide and just go into the grass, getting off track, massively impact your times. You can go in too slowly. There's a lot of things you can do here that can really harm the way that you complete this lap. So, complete this section. So for me, get as close to the wall as possible. Pretty committed, really. I'm pretty happy with this bus stop. I think it was probably one of my best. So you get nice and close to the wall. You can really get this far across. You're never going to get a slowdown. No, not a slowdown, but well, yeah, a slowdown and off track. Nothing comes from being this close to the wall. God, why did I even attempt to cycle through cameras? Once you've set yourself up here, you can have a little break into the second section as the car lands. Downshift a gear, so if we look here, we should see, boom, down. That helps to rotate the car because, well, always kind of gears help the car to like pull in, like the diff is then acting against you a bit more. The higher the RPM when you're off the throttle, the more pull I'd say the engine has on the... I'm starting to talk stuff that I don't really understand. I understand that lower gears help you with rotation, especially on the entry. So that's all we need to know. We don't need to go into the mechanics of it. But fourth gear here, I like to use it to get the car rotated. As long as you're not like trimming the grass too hard, which we're definitely not here, you're fine. And then it's all about getting that landing and getting full on the throttle. You can skim the grass here, but especially in a car like this, which is so little power, although you won't get an off track, it will impact your run. Whereas, like in a GT3, for example, it's not as big. But yeah, happy with that section, and I certainly think that's almost maximised. Now, this is a corner that, when I was doing my data pack, I realised that I was doing it wrong almost every time. I was trying to carry as much minimum in here as possible, carry as much minimum throughout the corner, and get on the power early, and use the maximum amount of exit. In fact, I didn't find that was quickest. What I find now is kind of what I do on this run. So you brake, make sure you get onto the curb, let the car go around the corner pretty nicely. And when you get to full throttle, try and minimise the steering as much as possible, because that just having too much steering lock on massively impacts the way that you pick up speed. And without that, with turning too much or trying to carry too much minimum speed, you'll scrub too much and you'll lose maybe a tenth on the exit here, which can be quite costly when there'll be fine margins around this track. There's no doubt about that. Into the final section, probably not my best section. I grabbed quite a lot of curb here, but it's certainly not something you need to do with a bit of grass as well. As long as you're back in off this curb, so you can drop off the edge of this curb, but as long as you're back in, you won't get a slowdown. But I feel like there is an off-track detection point, but I can't really pinpoint where it is because it isn't, for example, your wheels going over onto all the wheels going over the edge of the curb. It's actually somewhere out here, if you can see my mouse, but what I mean is like the kind of the extra tarmac area, but I actually don't know where the detection point is. And actually, something we can maybe learn is it going to tell us turn 6? Is this class as turn 6? Maybe it does. Right, okay. Let's read. A car is considered within track limits if it is half the... I would disagree with that. Is that even this track? Oh yeah, it is. It definitely is. I don't know. I feel like you can drop off the edge here, and I have done several times. So just be careful, though, because there is an off-track there, and it's not really that necessary, because what I do on this run is by getting that shallower line, I enable myself to be set up better for the final corner. Again, final corner is not amazing. You can definitely carry too much more speed than this, but I feel like you're always in this car for some reason. You're always stuck between carrying too little and way too much. So just be careful with that. It'll certainly come with practice. I inevitably decide that I can't operate the iRacing replay system. But anyway, we pretty much covered the entirety of the lap there that you saw on the hot lap. Any questions, please do put them in the comments below. I will try and answer them the best I can. And yeah, just run to the line, complete your lap, and I think that's a pretty competitive lap here at Watkins Glen Cup. Thank you very much for watching the lap guide then for week number 10 here in the Toyota GR86 for the SimLab Production Car Challenge. If you have any suggestions, please do put them in the comments below. I do try and look at it. Like the video if you enjoyed it. And remember, if you've not subscribed already, please do so. Also, some other things to add. We've got a Discord in the description below. Come and say anything you want. Join, kind of hang out with us. And just remember the tips that we've said for this week and come back for more videos. We publish more videos every week. And remember, birds aren't real. Just remember that, okay? And as long as you know that, good. They're controlled by the government. Until next time, see ya.